She stood at the head of the conference table like royalty preparing to deliver a public execution. "Effective immediately," she said, her tone smooth and razor-sharp. "You're terminated." Her gaze brushed past me, flat and emotionless, like I was just another loose end to tie up. No remorse, no gratitude, just corporate efficiency wrapped in $1,000 blazer and Dior heels. My team was present, a few glances away. One cleared his throat, not a word spoken. I gave a tight nod, unhooked my ID badge and a lanyard, and placed it on the polished table with a kind of deliberate grace. "I hope the client presentation goes well on Friday," I said calmly. She blinked. "What presentation?" I smiled, slow and surgical. "No worries. You'll figure it out." With that, I lifted the small box of my things, turned, and walked out without another glance. 7 years earlier, we met over burnt coffee and a broken projector in the break room. She was a junior analyst then, bright-eyed, fast-talking, with curiosity that cut through red tape. I was newly promoted and still learning the weight of leadership. She laughed at my jokes, challenged my assumptions, pushed harder than anyone else around me. We built something together. Late nights, last-minute proposals, close calls with upper management. Every insight, every client quirk, every executive's fragile ego. I taught her everything I knew, and I believed she was learning with me, not against me. Then things shifted. She started working late, too often. Her phone buzzed with messages she never showed me. "Slack," she claimed. "Just strategy stuff." Strategy, all right. One night, I came home early with her favorite Thai takeout and a bottle of single malt I'd been saving. The apartment was too quiet. Bedroom door cracked just enough. Her voice drifted out, soft, intimate. And not alone. I stood in the hallway, frozen, watching the silhouette of two bodies and listening to laughter that wasn't mine. But it wasn't the infidelity that destroyed me. It was what I overheard. His voice, my own division VP. "Once he's out, the director role is yours. His team already trusts you." Her reply, cold and rehearsed. "He won't see it coming. He still thinks we're on the same side." That night, I didn't say a word. I slept in the guest room, my mind already mapping the retaliation. The betrayal didn't break me. It sharpened me. First, I pulled access to my core client files, encrypted, archived, and moved to an external drive she didn't know existed. All recurring meetings became vague calendar notes or shifted to personal calls. The firm's shared system showed nothing. My name faded like smoke, replaced with placeholders and dead ends. Next, I activated a dormant consulting LLC I'd quietly registered months before. Just a gut feeling at the time. I transferred the key intellectual property, the flagship campaign, projections, and planning documents, under that company's ownership. Legal gray, but airtight. She wouldn't see it coming because she'd never looked beyond her own ambition. Then came the silence. I smiled in meetings. She brought me coffee again, trying to act like nothing had shifted. I accepted it with a nod, never sipping. On the day she received her promotion, she wore red. I congratulated her sincerely. She leaned in, smug. No hard feelings, right? I met her gaze. None at all. Friday arrived, and with it, poetic symmetry. She stood in the boardroom at 8:45 a.m., facing executives from Kenerva Tech, our biggest client. $500,000 in play. 15 high-level suits, all expecting brilliance. She had none of it. No pitch deck. No login access. No client roadmap. Just a screen that blinked with a brutal message. Access denied. User not authorized. Her face, I heard later, turned ghostly white, then crimson. She scrambled, called IT. Nothing they could do. Then she called me. I let it ring. At 9:07 a.m., I hit send on a polished email titled, "New strategic direction, now independent. Dear Kenerva team, thank you for the continued trust over the years. I'm now offering consulting services independently through my firm, and I'd love to continue our momentum without internal bottlenecks. Attached is our updated proposal, with revised pricing and dedicated access to myself and my team. Warm regards, Landon Ward." The response was immediate. They were thrilled. The ink dried by noon. I had the client. I had the campaign. I had the leverage. She stormed into my apartment that night, breathless and frantic. No knock, just fury. "You sabotaged me," she shrieked. I didn't rise from the couch. Just paused the game and turned to her slowly. "No," I said. "You did that when you mistook me for someone too blind to see the knife coming." Tears smeared her mascara. Her hands shook. "They're investigating me. Legal thinks I mishandled company property. You know they found the emails." "Your emails?" I said with a raised brow. "You were always clever, just not careful. You can't prove anything." I stood then, slow and calm. "I don't need to. You fired me. Publicly. Clean break. I walked away with what I built. That's not theft. That's survival." "You're a monster," she whispered. "No," I said, stepping past her toward the door. "I'm just the consequence of your ambition." By Monday, her promotion was under legal review. By Wednesday, the VP resigned. HR launched a quiet investigation. By Friday, I had a second client under contract. Another she and I once chased together. She tried warning them. They didn't care. The firm offered me a private buyout to keep consulting. I accepted. Meanwhile, she was left with nothing but a title and no pipeline. A paper crown atop a crumbling tower. Do I regret it? Not a second. Not the silence, not the patience, not the cold smile I wore as I walked away. She played fast, reckless, short-term. I played long. She cut me down. I let her. And then I made sure she watched me rise while she drowned the mess she made. No anger, no shouting, just silence and consequences.